I've never used one of these. I don't know if it's gonna explode or if I set it up right or what, so we're just gonna give it a squeeze and hope it works. Oh, hang on. We're trying something right now, actually. I should have added this to my bag forever ago. If you are looking for something to remove stuff, get you a little air chisel. This thing. We are back in our storage unit shop and we have one goal today. Well, technically one goal that can be categorized in a bunch of smaller goals, but that one overall goal is to get the little red Z in our paint booth prepped and primed for paint, because all of our paint supplies for the interior and exterior come in tomorrow.
Spoiler alert, I was too ambitious. It did not all happen.
And to get that red Z prepped and primed, we have to remove all of the sound deadening, or I'm gonna make a good attempt to remove as much as I can out. Prime the interior, rust treat the rust spots on the interior and exterior.
Again, way too ambitious, way too little experience.
And then finally, prime it. So without wasting any more time, we're gonna go ahead and get right to it. Get our generator on and running so our heaters are on, because it is freezing. It snowed last night, actually. I still can't get over that color. Okay, so while we're waiting for everything in there to heat up and cook, we're gonna go ahead and assemble our air hammer, because this is a pretty crucial thing to have whenever you're removing the sound deadening that comes stock in your car. Now, have I ever used one of these? No. Do I know how to assemble one? Also no. So we're gonna go ahead and see if we can assemble this without instructions. Just kidding, I'm using instructions. So this is a chisel. I'm assuming we put it like this. Oh, okay. Now we're cooking. What? So that goes in like that. This goes like this. Still doesn't feel right, but whatever. Now, I don't know if this is the right or the wrong way to assemble air stuff. I always put this sealant tape on it so I don't have any leaks. I've never checked if that's the right way though, but it's worked for me this far. All right, it's all together. Let's give it a shot, see if it works. It's at 90 PSI. I've never used one of these. I don't know if it's gonna explode or if I set it up right or what, so we're just gonna give it a squeeze and hope it works. Oh, hang on. We're trying something right now, actually. Before I get too excited here, some sound deadening over here that needs to be taken care of. No, fuck, what? That comes off so easily. I just got hit in the eye. What? Oh, this is awesome. I should have added this to my bag forever ago. If you are looking for something to remove stuff, get you a little air chisel. This thing is crazy. So before I actually decided to do this, I did a lot of research and I found that the best method is to use dry ice and alcohol to freeze it and then hit it with a hammer and chisel to break it off real clean. The only issue is that nowhere around me sells dry ice. So the alternative that I saw people use was CRC freeze-off to freeze it and then chiseling it off. I didn't see any YouTube videos using this. I only saw this on Reddit, so I'm not sure how accurate it is, but we're gonna go ahead and give it a shot. So our first trial is gonna be right here. We're gonna try to get this little kind of bridge piece off and see if it actually works. It's bubbling, I don't know what that means. I don't know if I'm supposed to let it sit either. It's starting to come off. I think the key is just to hose it off. And I should probably get my respirator for this. I'm too excited. I'm gonna finish this piece first. Right off. Nice. I'm gonna get my respirator. All right, going back in.
So remember how I said we didn't get to finish everything? That's because we spent so much time learning, because we had a lot of learning opportunities. That's what I called mistakes, don't tell anybody. And I wasted no time getting to these learning opportunities. In fact, one's about to happen right now. Yeah, I put a hole in the bottom of my car, and unfortunately this is the first, but not the last time I'll be doing that.
Oh shit. Oops.
Another oops I made was spraying as much CRC freeze-off as I did, because it actually turned it into a soft butyl-like substance that was really sticky and hard to remove, which really didn't show in this clip because I didn't wait long enough for the CRC to actually break it down. But you'll see it a lot more in these upcoming clips where it's actually fighting back and kind of sponging around. Right after we have another learning opportunity. So this learning opportunity was that my air tank was too small. I bought one that was a little too small, and I ended up spending more time filling the air tank up than I did actually using the air hammer. But as I said, in these upcoming clips, you'll be able to see how the freeze-off really broke down the sound deadening into like a butyl substance. Like right here, it's fighting back a little bit, but not too much. And in this next clip, you can see it kind of looking like rubber, but still kind of coming off. And in this final clip, it just stretches like rubber right around the chisel. And here in this next clip, we have yet another learning opportunity for me. I did it again. I managed to put another hole in the bottom of my car. Just like that.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
No!
Yep.
I just put a hole in my car.
Sure did.
God damn it.
Yep. It's almost reassuring to know that past me and current me have the same feelings towards what I did. And remember what I said about the freeze-off being bad? This is what I mean. This is so much faster without the freeze-off than it was with it. And now that I realize that, it's going to be so much faster. Not before another air supply break though. Jesus. Doing this part right here actually turned up to be the hardest, but also the fastest, because I didn't use any of the freeze off, so it just came right off, especially since it was like negative 16 degrees that night. The colder you can get it, the easier it is to get the sound deadening off, which means the bad weather actually worked out in my favor, at least while I was doing the sound deadening removal. Anyways, montage time. And with that last bit gone, we can move on to our next step. Slowly. Take your time.
We've gotten about as much of the soundproofing off as we can with the air hammer, and I'm going to go back over it all with this angle grinder and a wire brush just to kind of smooth things out so that it looks nice when the paint gets applied. Yeah. So the wire wheel ran all the way down. I don't know if you can see that. So I had to call it a night last night and run to Harbor Freight this morning to get more. And now we're gonna remove all of this kind of cloth fabric sound deadening. I don't know what it is, but it needs to come out.
And to get to it, we actually have to remove the steering column and all of the pedals. Now that itself isn't really that hard, and it was made even easier by the fact that almost all of the bolts were missing. So I really only had to take out like 4 bolts. But the gas pedal did have a bolt that was rounded out, so that took a little bit of extra time, but it really wasn't that much of an issue. Just a minor learning opportunity, if you will. After we got the gas pedal out, we just reached up there and we yanked the entire thing out. I don't remember what it was called. I don't really care to know what it was called. It was nasty. And once that nasty blanket looking thing was taken out the car, it was time to get back at it with the air chisel. Time for another montage. Never mind, I can't figure out where to put it down. There you go, right there's good. Now you're probably wondering why I'm keeping all of these air refill brakes in here. This is just another learning opportunity.
No. Alright, so both of my light bulbs burned out in the lighting we have in there. So we're gonna go ahead and rob the lighting from the rest of the shop real quick. And hopefully it goes quick enough for me to at least finish the interior of the car.
Now I didn't think I'd have to say this, but I'm gonna say it just in case. Once upon a time I used to be a tower climber. Don't try this at home. Not sure how being a tower climber makes this safe, but please don't imitate this. This is kinda dumb, but I did end up making it down safely. And I gotta say, the new lighting inside the tent turned out 10 times better than it did with the lamps that I had that burned out.
Gotta. I can't run away. I can't run away. Yeah.
And after hitting it with the vacuum and a clean, it was time for some wire wheeling, which surprisingly had 0 issues. So enjoy a nice little montage.
That crazy shit, we go out to shoot at his teeth. Fuck it, it's up, it ain't nothing to me. Wreck, go G for G. Yeah, my bitch got G for G. They rolling up, I got weed on my jeans. Can't hear shit, you ain't talking to me. Can't get the line, you just read in between. My bitch a 10, boy, I swear she a dream. She like to party at XTCFEEN. If the money call, then I come. If the bitch call, then I walk. I be flexing on niggas for fun.
Now before the primer, we did have to hit it with another vacuum and a wipe down with a microfiber and a cleaner. Maybe just one more pass through with the vacuum, just to make sure I'm all good. Called it.
So now that we've removed all of the sound deadening and wire wheeled everything and then hit it with some rust treatment, I'm gonna go ahead and primer everything. And the primer I always use is the Duplicolor Sandable Primer. It fills all the light scratches and everything, so from my sanding and wire wheeling, it kind of fills it in and evens it all out without me having to re-sand everything again, you know what I mean? Anyways, time to do it.
I'm gonna set up my ventilation real quick. I have a fan out here that's pushing pressure. I think it's holes in the front. And then I'm gonna set this one up so that it's shoving all the spent air out the back.
Turns out those fans suck, and I might as well have just been blowing air with my mouth. But we did have yet another learning opportunity with this primer and how cold it was.
Yeah, that's really running. I'm gonna have to figure out how to do even lighter layers. Cause it dries really fast. It dries really, really fast. And once you get that first super light layer on, it usually takes hold really fast. So I'm thinking I might just have to hit all of it with a quick thin layer and not really care about the drip. And then build it up enough to sand it if it's really that bad.
Turns out just taking the air heaters and pointing them at whatever I'm painting does the trick. See, there you go. There's one right there in the corner.
I been bomb, bitch, stay in your lane. I'm from a whole nother motherfucking plane. These niggas talking and building the case. I'ma just shut up and say anything. Who juice for Hondas pushing the brake. Bitch in the back, she blowing the brain. Spray that gas like high octane. Pop me an X, I ain't feeling the pain. Pop me an X, I ain't feeling the thing. These boys just hate, cause they ain't my rank. These boys just lame and can't hang with the game. Bitches gone wild and I can't even tame. Wanna deposit a mill in the bank. Wanna deposit a mill in the tank. I never been a fool, I cannot break. These niggas fake, I can see it in their face.
Now this was the very last bit of the interior that I could do because this was the last can that I bought. So I need to get some more for the rest of the interior, but I'm not upset with how this looks now.
Okay, so we finished the interior in there, and not gonna lie, it's looking really good. There's a bunch of dust everywhere because I ran a test run with the sander. And we're gonna go ahead and sand the rest of the car so we can primer it and be done and ready for paint. Now the biggest issue that I'm having here is that this is way too rough, and it's just eating away the plastic. It's a little rough. But I already started, so I might as well finish this. And I'll just have to get some black sanders for the purple Z over there.
And this is my final learning opportunity I had in this process, because this was way too rough. It took way too much off. It just fried my door. As you can tell, it just looks horrible. And I came to this conclusion after doing my whole door, so I went home to go get some more sanding materials, and we got snowed in. And once the snow finally cleared, I had to catch my flight to Denver to visit my little brother. So we weren't actually able to finish all of this out the way I wanted to. So in the next video, we'll be finishing the outside and actually beginning the paint on the interior. So if you guys liked the video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you didn't, please comment down below and let me know what I did wrong. See you next time, guys.
Big fives, blunts, gas, I smoke